Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia duly called and held on the 8th day of July, 2013 at 8:19 p.m. in the Trustees of the Village of New York. And public notice of time and place of this meeting has been given to the news media, conspicuously posted in one or more designated public locations in accordance with Section 104 of the Open Meetings Law.
Whereas members of this board present at the meeting have read the official minutes of the Board of Trustees regular meeting of June 10, 2013, and a special meeting of June 17, 2013. Now therefore be resolved, this board approves the minutes as entered in the official minutes, and be it further resolved the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Reports.
No reports tonight.
Correspondence.
We have correspondence was received from Todd Langworthy, History Days Chairman, on behalf of Festivals Fredonia, requesting use of Barker Common on Friday, July 19 and Saturday, July 20 for the Fredonia History Days.
Be it resolved that the request from Tom Langworthy, Fredonia History Days Chairperson, on behalf of Festivals Fredonia, to hold the Fredonia History Days Festival is hereby approved for the use of Barker Common as follows. 1. Use of both sides of Barker Common, including the gazebo, with access to power for live music to be provided. 2. To close Church Street from Park Place to Day Street. 3. To bag meters for all parking spaces around both sides of Barker Common, Friday, July 19th, 2013 until 11 p.m. 4. To bag meters for parking spaces on Main Street along West Barker Common on Saturday, July 20th, 2013. Place trash receptacles and barrels throughout the Barker Common. Be it further resolved that the above use of Barker Common and street closings are subject to the direction of the Fredonia Police Department and the Department of Public Works, and be it further resolved that the Fredonia Fire Department and Fredonia Police Department be notified of the above closings, and be it further resolved that this resolution is subject to the receipt by the village of a certificate of insurance from Festivals Fredonia Committee showing the Village of Fredonia as an additional insured in the amount of at least $1 million.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Correspondence was received from the Town of Pomfret Tax Assessor, Kevin Muldowney, notifying the board of a correction to the tax rolls because of a clerical error, omission of the business exemption on property owned by LLN LLC, 10375 Route 60 in Fredonia.
Be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees hereby approves an application submitted by the Town of Pomfret Tax Assessor for tax correction for the property owned by LLN LLC on Route 60, Fredonia, SBL 114-05-1-3, and be it further resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized to sign said corrected tax notice. The Town Assessor, Kevin Muldowney, has approved this correction.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Now we're at time for the public portion. Would anyone like to address this board at this time? Seeing no one, resolutions.
Whereas Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia is desirous of enacting the local law prohibiting the consumption of alcohol beverages by minors on a private property, and whereas proposed local law number 4 of 2013 of the Village of Fredonia in its final form is now upon the desks of the members of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia, which purposes to enact a local law of the Village of Fredonia relative to the consumption of alcohol beverages, and more particularly to add Article 2 to Chapter 81 of the Code of the Village of Fredonia. And whereas said local law reads as follows: proposed local law number 4 of 2013 of the Village of Fredonia, New York, Article 2, Section 1. The local law shall entitle a local law to prohibit the consumption of alcohol beverages or drugs by persons under 21 or private property. Section 2, Chapter 81 of the Code of the Village of Fredonia is hereby amended to add a new Article 2 to read as follows. Article 2, Section 81-9, title: this article shall be entitled a local law to prohibit consumption of alcohol beverages or drugs by persons under 21 or on private property. Section 81-10, legislative intent. It is the purpose of the section to protect the public interest, welfare, health, and safety within the Village of Fredonia by prohibiting the service and the consumption of alcohol beverages and drugs by persons under the age of 21 at private residence located in the village. The village board finds that occurrences of social gathering at the private residences where alcohol beverages or drugs are served to consume by persons under the age of 21 is harmful to such persons themselves and a threat to public welfare, health, and safety. The village board finds further that persons under the age of 21 often obtain alcohol beverages or drugs as such gatherings are prohibiting such service and or such consumption will be more likely to ensure that alcohol beverages and drugs are neither served to nor consumed by persons under the age of 21 at their gathering. Section 81-11 definitions. A, alcohol beverages being any liquor, wine, beer, spirits, cider, or other liquid or solid patent or not composed of containing alcohol or spirits where or not brewed, fermented, or distilled and capable of being consumed by a person except the confectionery containing alcohol as provided Section 12 of the 200 agricultural market laws shall not be considered alcohol beverages within the meanings of the section. B, control meaning the authority and ability to regulate, direct, or dominate. C, drug means to include the substance listed in the section 3306 of the public health law. D, minor means any person under the age of 21. E, open house party means a social gathering or otherwise at the residence of the private property and with minor present. F, persons means human being where appropriate, a public or private corporation, unincorporated association, partnership, government, or government instrumentally. G, resident means any home, apartment, condominium, co-op, unity, dormitory, unit, or dwelling unit or any kind, includes yards and open area adjacent thereto. Section 81-12 prohibition. No person having control of a residence shall allow an open house party to take place at said residence if such person knows or has reason to know that any alcohol, beverage, or drug is being unlawfully possessed, served, or consumed by a minor at a said resident. Section 81-13 exceptions. The provisions of this section shall not apply to A, the possession or consumption of alcohol beverages by persons lawfully permitted to do it pursuant to 65C of the New York State Alcohol Beverage Control Law or any other applicable law, or B, possession or consumption of drug which individual has current valid prescription of otherwise permitted by local law, applicable law. Section 81-4 inconsistencies, the other laws. If any part of the provision of the section is inconsistent with any federal or state statute, law, rule, or regulation with the statute, law, rule, or regulation shall prevail. B, if any part of the provision of section application thereof to any person in circumstance be adjudged invalid by a court competent in jurisdiction such as judgment shall be confined in its operation to part of the provision of application directly involved in controversy in which the judgment shall have been rendered and shall not be affected impair the validity of the remainder of the section and application thereof to other persons of circumstances. Section 81-15 penalties. Failure to comply with the section 81-12 above shall constitute a violation punishable by a fine of not more than $500 or by imprisonment of not more than 15 days or by both fine and imprisonment. Effective date. This local law should take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State. Now therefore be resolved the public hearing to be held before this Board of Trustees, Village Fredonia, 22nd day of July 2013 at 7:30 p.m. Trustees Room, Village Hall, New York. Consider the question of enactment of said proposed local law. And be further resolved, the village clerk is hereby authorized to cause notice of the said public hearing on said public law to publish in the Evening Observer and to give such other notices as may be required by law.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Joe, nice job.
Sorry.
Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia desires to prohibit the parking of trailers or trailer trucks on public streets of the Village of Fredonia unless within certain exceptions. And whereas proposed local law number 5 of 2013 of the Village of Fredonia in its final form has been laid on the desks of the members of the Board of Trustees. And whereas said proposed local law reads as follows. Proposed local law number 5 of 2013 of the Village of Fredonia, New York. Section 1. This local law shall be entitled a local law prohibiting the parking of trailers or trailer truck on the streets of the Village of Fredonia. Section 2, Article 3 of Chapter 208 of the Code of the Village of Fredonia entitled Parking and Traffic. It's hereby amended to address a new section to be known as Section 208-191. The section shall read as follows. Section 208 191 parking of trailers or trailer trucks on streets or municipal parking lots within the village where parking of vehicles is permitted. No person shall park a trailer or trailer truck upon any of such streets or municipal lots within the village of Fredonia for more than 2 hours on any day, except such parking shall be permitted in the following cases, provided there is no obstruction of vehicle traffic. A, for 2 days, if in connection with moving of equipment or furniture or appliances into a building within 50 feet of the trailer or trailer truck, or B, for a period of time not to exceed 7 days, if in connection with the repair or construction of a building within 50 feet of the trailer or trailer truck, where parking of vehicles is prohibited on any village street or municipal lot, with such prohibition shall apply also to trailer and trailer trucks. Any trailer or trailer truck parking in violation of this section shall be subject to towing and storage at the owner's expense, and the owner or operator shall be subject to a fine of $35 per day, and each additional day violation shall constitute a separate offense punishable by a fine not exceeding an additional $35 a day. For the purposes of this section, trailer shall be defined as the same 156 of the vehicle and traffic law. Trailer truck shall be defined as a truck primarily designed to tow a trailer and is also referred to as a semi-truck. Section 3, this local law shall become effective immediately upon filing, therefore, with the Secretary of State of New York. Now, therefore, be resolved that a public hearing be held before the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia on July 22nd, 2013, at 7:30 p.m. at the Trustees Room, 2nd floor, Village Hall, 9-11 Church Street, Fredonia, New York, to consider the question of the enactment of said proposed local law. And be it further resolved that the village administrator, clerk treasurer is also hereby authorized to cause notice of said public hearing to be published in the Observer as required by law.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Thank you, Mark. Next job.
Next one's tabled, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Be it resolved that the regular and overtime payrolls of the various village departments and bills approved by the Finance Committee and set forth in abstract number 442 is hereby approved and directed pay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
We're skipping
Be
that.
it resolved that Village Justice David A. Prince is hereby authorized to apply for a grant from the Justice Court Assistant Program for the year 2012-2013.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Be it resolved that the Code Enforcement Officer is hereby authorized to obtain a contractor to mow the lawn at 31 Castile Drive, owned by 1 West Bank, 2900 Espenzo Crossing, Texas, and 148 West Main Street, owned by Sean and Jessica Mulligan, 14 East 4th Street, Oswego, New York. Said property has overgrown grass or reeds in violation of the Village Property Maintenance Code, and the cost be placed as a lien against the property in accordance with the code. This is subject to the direction of Larry Barter, Building Inspector.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Be it resolved that the village administrator, Richard St. George, is hereby authorized to submit a letter of intent for assistance under the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program 4085 related to the village spillway project.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Okay. Whereas Dr. and Mrs. Anthony Bartholomew are willing to allow the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department, under the direction of Lieutenant Randy Butts, to use their premises at 9120 Fredonia Stockton Road, Pomfret, New York, for fireman training for about 3 to 4 weeks during this July and possibly part of the following August, and for a controlled burn of the home on said premises at the end of the training program. Now therefore be it resolved that in consideration of permitting the use of their said premises for For the above purposes, the Board of Trustees agrees to name the Bartholomews as additional insured on the village liability insurance, and the village shall indemnify and hold harmless the Bartholomews from any liability arising from the village use of their property. And the mayor is hereby authorized to sign an agreement with the Bartholomews to this effect.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. At this time, I'd like to make an announcement. On Monday, July 15th, 2013, at the Williams Center, there's going to be a meeting to talk about NRG. I would suggest that everyone in the community, in the area, attend that meeting. Let your support be shown that you're in support of the NRG plant in Dunkirk. It'll be 7 p.m. in the Williams Center. Thank you. Anything else?
No? I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.